back to another U.S. immigration law video. Today we will be addressing a common question that we receive from U.S. green card holders, and that's about their obligation with that green card when it comes to traveling inside and outside of the United States. Now, if you are a U.S. green card holder, in other words, a lawful permanent resident in the United States, and you would have a green card, which is also referred to as Form I-551. When you are traveling into the United States, you are legally required to use that green card for your travel back to the United States. And there are two key provisions under the law that require that. Under 8 U.S.C. 1181, it states that an immigrant lawfully admitted for permanent residence must present a valid document upon re-entry to the United States. And it further clarifies that lawful permanent residents must present a valid, unexpired Form I-551 or your green card to be admitted to the United States. If a green card holder does not have their green card on them, they can be denied entry to the United States, or they would be required to provide a waiver or alternate documents such as a reentry permit or a returning resident permit in order to be readmitted as a lawful permanent resident to the United States. Now, if you use your foreign passport only, then there are certain risks when you do that under U.S. immigration law, and it could be considered misrepresentation for entry to the United States. You could be accused of abandoning your permanent resident status. You could be put into secondary inspection by U.S. Customs and Border Protection, and you could be possibly put into removal proceedings for failure to use that green card for entry to the United States. And you need to understand, if you are a green card holder, there are limits on your travel outside of the United States. If you will be outside of the United States for 6 months or more, you should expect additional questioning upon your return to the United States and proof of your ties that you have maintained to the United States during that extended trip abroad. If you're going to be outside the United States for a year or more, well, that is seen as abandonment of your U.S. permanent resident status for a stay that long outside of the United States. If you do not have a valid reentry permit and you have not maintained your ties to the United States during that extended trip abroad. Our advice is, if you're going to be outside the United States for 6 months or more, or you travel outside the United States extensively, get a reentry permit so that you can indicate to CBP that you do travel a lot, but you want to maintain that permanent status in the United States. And even if you have a reentry permit, you are still required to maintain your ties to the United States, even for extended trips abroad, or you risk abandoning that status in the United States. And in the end, if you do spend far more time outside the United States than you should, and I'm talking about more than 6 months a year, then you should question whether or not you want to keep that green card in the first place, because it's going to cause you more harm than good. But as a rule, if you are traveling as a green card holder, then follow these guidelines. Always carry your green card for international travel, and you're required to use that for re-entry to the United States. If you're going to be outside the United States for a year or more, then you should get a re-entry permit before leaving the United States to allow you to return to the United States. And always maintain strong ties to the United States, such as a home, a job, family ties, and show that you have not abandoned your permanent residency in the United States. And most importantly, do not try to hide your permanent resident status by only using your passport. You could get yourself into serious trouble with immigration authorities by doing that.